A simple community, held together by a paralyzing fear of the cold, the shadows, and the giant wasps that roam our town while we all drink to forget. Welcome to Grants Pass. Good afternoon, listeners. Today, we have several important news stories, updates, and advertisements to be slowly and painfully sucked from my lips and into your open, welcoming ear holes. First, however, there is an important announcement. The Grants Pass City Council would like me to remind everyone that the events of last Saturday are not to be alluded to, described, or remembered. City officials state that even vague descriptions, such as "that thing we did" or "the events of last Saturday," are considered trigger phrases, and stating them will cause all nearby members of the Grants Pass City Council, or any government official really, to begin emitting an ungodly scream from the base of their throats. This action is involuntary, and causing City Council members to answer it is illegal. This will result in arrest. The local supermarket is currently closed off to all citizens over the age of 18. Recently, the shadowed figures have been spotted in the self-service checkout lanes, particularly in aisles 4, 6, 11, 15, and Theta. Now, they aren't doing anything particularly frightening, but just the fact that they are there seems to have put the owner of the store into a crazed panic. In other supermarket news, the Banshees who inhabit the dairy aisle are throwing a party this Tuesday to mark their 100th suicide. The party will feature a machine of sorts, and during the party, the supermarket will be undergoing renovations. That's all it says. Interpret it as you will. The party will be between 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. and will last exactly 1 hour. Next, we have local politics. Now, as tax-paying citizens, we have all been keeping an eye on the recent gun control debate. Well, the City Council has finally made a radical move involving gun control. The Grants Pass City Council would like to inform everyone that, after nearly 2 months of debate, they have finally revoked the ability of non-native Grants Pass citizens to own assault rifles, shotguns, machine guns, and mountain goats. As of November 15th, anyone found with any of these items will be arrested and put on trial against the Grants Pass City court system. However, the city sheriff, in a public statement screamed into my phone this afternoon, stated that the Grants Pass Fund Police would provide a 2-week grace period after the law takes effect, in which the murderers of these respective groups are encouraged to find more unconventional weapons to use for their assaults and murders. The decision was not made without debate. Members of the council in opposition of these new laws claim that the ability to possess guns and unconventional pets is a constitutional right, and by removing it, we are violating everything that is important to the American people. Members in favor of the bill argue that the illegalization of murder is a necessary step in achieving John Locke's proposed God-given rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is despite the fact that the City Council illegalized happiness earlier this week. These new laws arise from the recent frequency of mass murders. Reports from the NSA, or the National Statistics Association, show that under our current definition of mass murder, which defines it as the homicide of at least 2 people within a 24-hour period, we have had nearly 350,000 mass murders this year alone, which equates to roughly 1,000 mass murders per per day. Representative Hillary Schwartz, a proponent of the bill, stated that while this is a perfectly fine frequency for mass murders to occur at, the population of homicidal maniacs has started to seriously damage the economic growth of firearms as an industry. She continued, the purchasing of guns is starting to overwhelm factory workers, as the rate at which they are being bought becomes higher than the rate that they can be produced. Similar legislation pushed by Representative Schwartz would combat recent campaigns by the Grants Pass chapter of the NRA. The head of the local chapter, Patricia Thumpkins, has been attempting to combat gun control laws by mandating the government to issue shotguns to all citizens over the age of 18. More news on the story as it develops. Here is a quick word from our sponsors. Looking for a fun snack? What's something delicious to share with your party guests? Do you want to impress everyone with your cooking? Have you ever been stabbed? Do you wish to redeem yourself? Try nailing a bag of tarantulas to the ceiling and barking at it while you contemplate your limited time in this world, and how your primal urges control your every move, you pathetic animal. This message has been brought to you by Goldfish Crackers, the snack that doesn't smile. Ever. Stop smiling. Smiling is dangerous and should never be done. Grants Pass High School's Parent Night last Thursday ended in bloodshed as an army of cannibals came pouring out of the second-floor storage room in the science building. Reports indicate that there were no deaths. However, several people were hospitalized when they attempted to reach the second-floor storage room of the science building. These injuries were clearly from falling, seeing as the science building does not have a second floor. In related news, teachers have been replaced with janitors. This decision, evidently, was not made by the school board. It just kind of happened. All city officials recommend staying home until they can neutralize, arrest, and execute these janitors. I remind you, listeners, because it is my public duty to do so, that janitors should never be approached. Janitors are dangerous, and getting too close can result in permanent consequences. And now, a look at sports. The Grants Pass Cave People will be participating in their third football game of the season this Tuesday. This game will hopefully be more successful than their last game, in which the official Oregonian Sports Association flagged the cave people for watering the grass with nitric acid. The OOSA has agreed to withdraw their inspection of the field for this game, as long as we promise to not cheat too severely. The Klamath Falls Mountain Cubs have challenged this decision, stating that the government endorsement of this illegal behavior could lead to the deaths of millions. Well, Klamath Falls, I remind you that, as equal citizens, we maintain the right to lodge complaints against you as well. I would like to complain about the unacceptably bitter soup that you bring to after-parties, and about the distracting and unnecessary headlights you have installed on the front of your cars, but sometimes we simply need to deal with the minor issues that occur in everyday life. No one wants to hear your complaints, Klamath Falls. Nobody cares. Quarterback Jeffrey Baldwin is excited that his team will be playing again, despite the fact that it will be without him, considering the recent injury to his appendix during the events of last Saturday. We have new developments in the current gun control debate. The local chapter of the NRA has murdered City Council Representative Hillary Schwartz. When questioned on the reasoning behind this move, NRA President Thumpkins argued that the passage on these new laws has created confusion on exactly what types of murder are legal, and that until a proponent of the bill clarifies this, they will continue massacring all members of the City Council who assert the passage of this bill. It appears that we will not be hearing anything from the proposition of these bills for quite a long time. Possibly never. Listeners, there is a woman in my studio. She isn't staring at me, saying or even doing anything. She's just kind of standing there. The city construction crew already removed all the doors and windows from this room, and there's no entry we know of, so we have no idea how she got in here. That staticky sound, by the way, isn't you. The woman is slowly opening her mouth and emitting a rather loud screaming/static. It's quite deafening, actually. While we work...
Today's episode of Welcome to Grants Pass is brought to you by the Dark Humor Institution and is inspired by Welcome to Night Vale. To support Night Vale, go to commonplacebooks.com and click on the donate link. If you would like to start wearing sentences on your body that even your friends will not understand, they have t-shirts and other products such as scout patches, buttons, and NRA bumper stickers. The voice of Grants Pass and the mind behind this psychotic banter is Joshua Akins. Today's amateur verb is, if at first you don't succeed, give up. You are already a failure.